Hello, my name is Robert Levy. I have been the said self-advocacy specialist since 2011. I work on a project to ensure regional center clients have plans in place as their parents age. Participants in meetings about SDP and other services, and I am a member of a number of self-advocate groups.
Hi, and my name is Steve Ritter. I'm staff at the SED, and I do a lot of family navigation in terms of supports and services, and also facilitate an employment project called the Business Advisory Council, which promotes inclusive employment amongst local businesses in Sacramento.
I used to work at a workshop from November 1991 to March 1994. The workshop had contracts for groups of people with disabilities to landscaping and production work. Working on a segregated crew was the only option at the workshop. I got the Employee of the Month certificate at the workshop in May 1992. I asked when I would get a job on my own. They said I wasn't ready. I asked how could I be Employee of the Month but not be ready for a real job. I quit the workshop. They weren't really getting me a they weren't really getting me ready for a community job. If I didn't quit, I think they would still be saying that I'm not ready for a real job.
I'm just going to do a brief narrative after a few of Robert's slide, and I just want to highlight the fact that a large percentage of services for people with disabilities in the area of employment really emphasizes a lot of pre-employment, which research has really shown is not very helpful. And so we definitely want to be working towards people getting into programs that are going to do direct and quick employment, rapid employment.
In 1998, I started getting services from Progressive Employment Concepts, or PEC. PEC is a supportive employment agency funded by the Regional Center. PEC asked me about the kind of work I wanted to do. They didn't waste my time by telling me that I needed to get ready for a job. They helped me find jobs that match my skills and interests.
So there are supported employment agencies that are through the regional center system. There's actually a minority of adult services are supported employment services. And for people who do not have regional center services, then things become, there's both Department of Rehabilitation as well as the American Job Centers. And I'll talk about those a little bit uh, more towards the end of the presentation after hearing people talk about folks with high school diplomas and things like that.
PEC helped me get a job at Target. I worked there from January 2000 until March 2020. I went for an interview and my job coach went with me. My job coach helped me during the interview. I rotated products on the shelves and put security tags on products, especially I liked helping out customers to find items that they needed.
Yeah. So as Robert mentioned earlier, when he was in the workshop, things were very, very few choices in terms of the types of jobs. And what we know is that it's very important for people to get for their interests and their skills to be very much considered in any employment opportunities that or services that we connect people to.
When I started at Target, I was working 20 hours a week. After a year or so, my job coach stopped checking in because I was doing so good at work. New managers started asking me to do work that I didn't know how to do very well. The new managers didn't know I had a job coach, and their job coach didn't know I was having a hard time because of a lack of support. My hours were gradually cut from 20 hours to 20 to 3 hours a week.
You want to finish that slide, Robert?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were saying. A job coach can help you to keep being successful. Once you know how to do the job, a job coach doesn't need to help you very often, but it is important that the supervisor knows who to call if they think you need support again.
Yeah, and thank you, Robert. Again, what we know is that for many people, as job duties change and as opportunities shift, it can be really helpful to have someone who is doing at least minimal kind of relationship with them and their employment. For people who don't have regional center services, we've oftentimes found it very helpful if people have, if they develop some type of a mentor on site who can help to identify when things are shifting a little bit and when perhaps, if, for example, they have Department of Rehabilitation Services, that they're called back in. So it's this idea that it's kind of a, someone's in a spot and that's going to go successfully, indefinitely, has not really proven out. This is a very typical experience that Robert's describing there.
I used to start work at 8 a.m. I need someone to drive me to work because the bus doesn't run that early. My job coach helped talk to my manager about the problem with the bus. My manager didn't know my bus didn't know buses didn't run that early. He said I could start work at 9, so I could take the bus. My job coach helped me get a schedule that worked better for me. Helped me get a schedule that worked better for me. Um, that helped me to be more independent and still do the job that my boss needed me to do. Your job coach can help you make things work better and help you communicate with your supervisor.
And again, Robert was talking about, within the regional center, there can be indefinite job coaching that exists. Um, for people who don't have that, again, that's the role oftentimes that a mentor can kind of take. And this seems like a, very simple kind of a thing to identify and to raise up. But it's something, this is on the level and a very frequent kind of a thing that we see where people are just either don't know the process in terms of identifying and resolving these kinds of issues, or maybe that they attempt it and that there's just, their supervisors either don't quite understand or don't follow up. So just having someone who is there either as a mentor or a coach, who can just help to facilitate these kinds of things can make a tremendous difference.
I have worked at the Mine Institute since April 27th, 2011. I started as an unpaid intern on April 27th, 2011. The internship was supposed to be temporary. Once I saw how I could do a good job, they decided to hire me. In January 2012, I was hired for a paid job at the mine. I work at the Mine Institute 14 hours per week or more. I do evaluations for conferences and help staff in other ways. I give presentations and I'm an advocate. For the first year, I had support almost every day, all day from my job coach. There were a lot of hard things to do. Now I can do most of my work independently. My job coach checks in to see how things are going. My coworkers help me if I need it. This is a natural support.
Yeah, I do want to just briefly say again, Regional Center has by far the richest kind level of job coaching. But the Department of Rehabilitation also does have access to job coaching. It tends to be more limited to just a few months, and they oftentimes use the same agencies as the regional centers contract to do that kind of work.
I got hired for this job because I was an intern. This job didn't even exist until I became an intern. Being an intern gave me a chance to learn the job and show the mind that I am a good worker who is a valuable part of the team. Being an unpaid intern or volunteer can be a good way to get a job. In California, the regional center has a has paid internships so people can try out for jobs and businesses can see that they can be great employees.
Yeah. So, the reason why internships are so valuable is because the interview process and frankly, just the entire onboarding process is one that is really not a very fair or equitable way for people to demonstrate that they would be good at a job. So having people have that opportunity to just demonstrate on, doing the task is really a key benefit and a key strategy that's been very helpful to people getting employment. The regional center's paid internship is quite extensive. It's 1,040 hours, which is either full time for 6 months or half time for an entire year. Um, Department of Rehabilitation does have limited internships for people with disabilities. It's something that you really need to ask for. It's very rarely offered. And the American Job Centers that I mentioned previously, they are grant funded, but many of them do have a disability accelerator program that if you state that you have a disability, and there's a job that is just beyond what you're technically qualified for. You are able to do the job, but you don't have a certification or you don't have quite the experience. They can sometimes trigger uh, that limited internship for folks at the American Job Centers as well.
I have worked at Progressive Employment Concepts since October 13th, 2014. I work at PEC 4 or more hours a week. PEC is close to my home, so I can take the bus. I help with their social media and I help to interview people with disabilities who are leaders to show to the kids who are still going to school that they can work and go to college just like everyone else. My job helps me to make more money, learn new things, and make friends. I also want to be a good role model to show that people with disabilities can work. I like my coworkers. Some people are afraid that they would be lonely if they don't go to a workshop or a day program. If I'm not lonely and I still want to see some of my friends from the workshop days. I have not I have not lost my SSI. My SSI is lower because oh, sorry. My SSI is lower, but that's because I get paychecks from my jobs. I'm making more money when my paychecks are lower and SSI are combined than I would just get SSI.
The UC Davis Mind Institute was founded in 1998 with the promise to reduce and prevent the disabilities that can be associated with autism and other neurodevelopmental conditions. Every day, our clinicians and researchers make progress on that promise. Our groundbreaking research on autism, Fragile X syndrome, chromosome 22q11.2 deletion syndrome, ADHD, and other conditions associated with disability are helping affected individuals achieve their fullest potential. Please visit our website or our social media platforms to find out more about current studies, upcoming events, and how you can help make a difference.